What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber. As always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, in 2 days, I'll be on my way to Memphis, Tennessee to cover the Tyree Nichols civil rights trial. And we are almost at our goal. So if anybody out there wants to contribute to the trip to extend the stay so I can give more coverage to the channel and more information for you guys, by all means, we got a couple of days left. I appreciate your support in addition to watching the videos. So thank you. Guys, I'm going to talk about, and you know what? Let me tell you this real fast. Last week, I did the premiere opening video of my new true crime channel, Sinister Intent, right? And I thanked everybody for coming out. Guys, I haven't checked the analytics on that page in about 3 days. Wasn't even thinking about it because I've been so busy giving attention to this channel right here. Do you know that that video I did done really took off? The spike in views and watch time hours and stuff is astronomical. The way that channel's going, I should be monetized by the end of next week. That's amazing. I cannot tell you the amount of support you guys gave me and the gratitude I have for you to helping me have the confidence to start something I've never started before. And the next story I come up with, well, I already have. I got 6 stories coming up, but I'll drop them every Thursday. The next story I got will rival the story I just did. You mark my words. There's so many different cases out here of people doing some of the sickest stuff that it made my head spin when I realized I wanted to do this type of channel. But I just wanted to say thank you again. And if you guys haven't seen the channel, there's a link in the description box that'll take you right to it. The video is really good. I want you guys to check it out. I'm gonna get into this news. Now, we all know about the Appalachian High School shooting that happened a couple days ago in Winder, Georgia, right? Or Winder. I didn't cover it yesterday. I covered it when it first happened, but I didn't cover it yesterday. And sometimes I do that. You know, you guys that know me know, if I cover everything that comes out, I'll be doing video after video, the same stuff. New information has came out. This man you see up here is the father of the shooter, 14-year-old Colt Gray. This guy is his father, Colin Gray, and he's just been arrested on 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children. Why, you may ask? News has come out, and this is mind-blowing to me, and I'm gonna explain why after I show you this video, that this guy gave the shooter, Colt Gray, the exact same gun that he used to kill 2 students and 2 teachers as a Christmas present last year. I swear, that's what they're saying. If you don't believe me, take a look. We're gonna come back and get all over this.
It's on a school shooting in Georgia. The father of the 14-year-old shooter has been arrested, charged with murder. The school district released new pictures of the victims while the teen is due in court this morning, where he will be charged as an adult with 4 counts of murder. Faith Abube is on the scene in Winder, Georgia. Good morning, Faith.
Good morning to you, George. The suspect's father has acknowledged that he has guns in the house, but he did assure investigators a year ago that his son did not have unsupervised access to them. But this morning, he has been booked into jail, accused of knowingly letting his 14-year-old access a gun. In fact, sources telling ABC News that he may have given the assault-style weapon to the 14-year-old as a Christmas gift.
Breaking overnight, authorities arresting the father of the teenage suspect in that tragic Georgia high school shooting.
His charges are directly connected with the actions of his son.
54-year-old Colin Gray, now charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children.
These charges stem from Mr. Gray knowingly allowing his son, Colt, to to possess a weapon.
Sources telling ABC News investigators believe Colin gifted his 14-year-old son an AR-15 style rifle for Christmas, which the teenager used to terrorize his school Wednesday, leaving 4 people dead.
We're heartbroken. A young person brought a gun into a school, committed an evil act, and he took lives.
This as the suspected shooter, 14-year-old Colt Gray, also faces 4 counts of felony murder for allegedly killing those 4 people and injuring 9 others. It comes as ABC News has learned of possible early warning signs, with the shooter displaying an affinity for mass shootings, and the FBI receiving anonymous tips as early as May of 2023 about a disturbing post Gray allegedly made on the social media platform Discord, where they say he had possibly threatened to shoot up a middle school the next day. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office interviewing the suspected shooter at the time, saying he denied making the post. His father interviewed too, telling investigators there were guns in the house, but his son did not have unsupervised access, adding that his son was being picked on at school.
I worry about him in school and, what would ever happen.
The sheriff's office saying there was no probable cause to make an arrest at the time, but they urged Jefferson City school officials to monitor Gray, the student later transferring to this new county, where authorities say Wednesday he allegedly gunned down his victims. The community now mourning Mason Schermerhorn and Christian Angulo, both just 14 years old, along with teachers Christina Aramy and Richard Aspinwall.
I honestly thought it could have been my last day, probably ever alive.
Aspinwall student, 17-year-old Brian Maldonado, sprinting into action the moment he realized his math teacher had been gunned down.
I look up and we can see his body halfway through the doorway, just laying there, like taking his breaths. And then we later on hear his final breath.
Maldonado leading other students to quickly barricade the door.
We found a cabinet, so we put everything like there, desks, chairs, whatever we could really put. We just put it in front of the door, hoping the shooter won't come in. Really, it's just scary. God was watching over us that day.
And Michael, this case is reminiscent of the Crumbly case in Michigan, where for the first time ever, U.S. parents were charged and then convicted after their child carried out a deadly mass shooting. Meanwhile, here in Georgia, the suspect here in the shooting is in court today for his first appearance.
That's the story, and I'm gonna be honest. I'd show both of them the flowers, mainly the father. As a man, you're a leader. Children don't do what you say, they do what you do. They watch you. This is why it's very important to keep your conversations away from children. And I know y'all don't know what I'm talking about, but hear me. Did you hear when he was talking at the end, he said, I was wondering what would happen, because they said he was bullied last year. What would happen if by any chance he did get a hold of one of those weapons, but yet and still you bought him a gun? What, gave him an AR-15. I don't own an AR-15. You give a 14-year-old boy, just turned a teenager, a war-type weapon as a gift. What kind of good deed did he do to deserve that? And what in his mental psychological makeup made you say that was a good idea? Now he's charged, and rightly fucking so. Rightly so. I guarantee you. Now they said the FBI was looking at him last year because of some posts he made about wanting to shoot up a middle school. See, the media dance. He wanted to shoot up his school last year. First of all, Dad, if you knew your son got in trouble and the FBI had to be brought to your house and all the embarrassment and all that other stuff, he wouldn't have been around no guns. I don't care if he knew about gun safety or not. He wouldn't have been around no guns. First thing I would have did was took my guns, minus one for self-defense, and got them out the house. Because it's nothing more important than preserving the lives of the people and the safety of those around you, including your damn son and his mental makeup. So that's the thing. A lot of times men expect children, women too sometimes, but when men have sons, they expect them to know the difference between right and wrong, even though they're at their age, we're at our age and they're at their age, and it's miles in between of lessons learned. They expect the kid to know what they know. He know not to take guns to school. He know not to this. And I told you, sometimes you got to monitor what your child is on. Said he had a fixation on mass shootings. For some reason, that Columbine BS done messed up the minds of a lot of people. Just like there are people out there wanting to be like John Wayne Gacy, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, and all people like Ed Gein. These people get enamored with that. There are younger people that are enamored with the bullshit of killing people in school. Said he was bullied. I guarantee you the people he killed was none of them bullying him. This guy killed two 14-year-old kids, a female and a male teacher that tried to stop him. When the police came in there, he surrendered quickly. And shout out to the police. They did get there fast enough. They got fail-safe and they do drills for that type of scenario. And the kids knew what to do. Even though they was terrified, they still knew what to do. My heart goes out to everybody that lost someone and everybody that was traumatized in this. But there are things that we really need to talk about. Nowadays, desensitization, man, I can't even talk, it's Friday. Being desensitized to violence is normal in society, regardless of what the age is. And the reason why the age don't matter no more, because of the loss of family and the broken structure between male and female, a lot of times violence is seen in the home before it's seen anywhere else. Seriously, there are kids that suffer from PTSD that becomes normal from what they see in the house or what they expose to on the internet because parents aren't filtering their content or watching up on them, and it's all type of stuff. When I first heard he was locked up, I said, oh man, why they lock the dad up? He ain't do the shooting. And then you find out it's a cause to the effect. Once he threatened to shoot the school up, I'd have bust his ass. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I'm gonna tell you a story, this is real rap. I can't remember what school shooting it was, but when the little kids got shot up, I think that was Stony Brook. When the boy came in there and shot up all them little kids, right? That happened on a Friday, I'll never forget it. My son, who was 13 at the time, came to school that month. Me and him was listening to it on the radio or on YouTube. I was explaining to him what happened. I picked him up from school. I'm telling him like, yo, it's dangerous out here. You know, you gotta be careful, this and that. And I said, you know, you can't have a gun in school or I didn't even own a gun. My wife, who's my ex-wife at the time now, we were moving into a new house. As we were moving into the new house, he said, look what I found. This is my dad's old gun. The gun was broke. It didn't have a clip or anything, but it was an actual little 25, like one of them pawn shop 25s, right? Didn't have a clip or nothing. I said, take the gun and put it in my drawer, one of my drawers in the room. I put it all the way down at the bottom and I put it in a little box that I had with watches in it. Something nobody would ever find, and I covered it up with clothes because I didn't want kids seeing it. My son, guys, jumps up that Monday morning and he has this game. This is when they had the Nintendo Game Boy or whatever the handheld thing was. And I see him getting out the car and I see it sticking out of his book bag. I said, what is that? You don't take that to school? Oh, he throws it in the car. So I'm out working and I have downtime between jobs. So I'm sitting in the parking lot and I'm like, let me see what the, attraction is to these games. I open the game up, come to find out he can take videos on it. I look through the videos. He done got pictures of the gun, took pictures of the gun. Then he put the thing up there where he videotaped himself in the mirror, clicking the gun, putting the gun to his head. I shoot all y'all N-words. I shoot all of y'all. Yeah, what, want to F with cussing and everything. I cannot tell you how my blood ran cold. If he had took that to school, because if you guys remember when these school shootings first started, anybody that had a bullet, a gun, or anything, they were smoking them. That could have very well been my child. It bothered me so bad, I canceled my day, y'all. I waited for him to come home, and I sat him down. And I said, you got something you want to tell me? And I pushed it across. As soon as he seen it, me push it across without even being opened, he knew, number one, you don't go in your parents' room. Number one, you don't go in my shit. We was taught that when we was young, and I instilled that in my kids. But said, you don't go in your parents' room unless they ask you to go in there. And then he went in there and was snooping around because that weekend, me and the wife at the time went out to dinner. We left him home. He's 13, 14. He'll be home by himself. And you do that? You start snooping through somebody's stuff? I tore skin off his ass. He didn't do that no more, but I averted disaster. So that's why I said, you know, kids do crazy stuff. Sometimes you can't blame the parents, but in this case, this motherfucker right here is stupid. You dumb. Where was his wife at? Colin, you know that's not a good idea to get a gun to Colt. He probably was like, shut up, whatever her name is. But either way, now you caught up in the jam from something your son did because you encouraged their behavior. A lot of people had this thing of what a man should do, what a man should, you know, learn and stuff like that. And for the most part, there are certain things we should do to make us resourceful and helpful in our own survival. But giving a 14-year-old gun, an AR-15 style rifle, and his mind ain't right and he proved it to you already, was a stupid fucking idea. It's wrong. The blood of all them people is not on his Colt's hands, it's on your hands because you were the wheel that drove him in that direction, whether you want to realize it or not. Because I'm going to tell you something. With him, when you had, do an experiment. Give a little kid a gun. What's the first thing they do? They don't point it in their face. They point it at somebody else because that's all you see around you. How many times we see child after child after child, 1, 2 years old, shoot themselves with a gun or shoot another kid? The amount of violence and killing that you're seeing in America right now is one of the main reasons why crime is on the rise, because there are nobody's out there trying to put a lid on the violence, a level of violence that's out here that's exposed to children, whether it's domestic violence, child abuse, so on and so forth. We as a collective are tearing each other apart and not looking at the big picture that older people are being watched by younger. And a lot of the stuff that they get their mindset from is shit they see us do. This dude is wrong. 4 people gone. Nothing they do to them can bring these people back or bring real closure. This is mass casualties, a mass amount of funerals, whole community in mourning. And for what? You to be a good dad, Merry Christmas, and send them to fucking oblivion. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Crimes like this are unforgivable. They are. Because he didn't even think about what could happen in the worst way by giving a child a war weapon. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.